Blessed be my witches, my spiritualists, and welcome to another episode of Witch Please. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today I wanted to talk about willingness to lose. During this COVID-19, there has been a lot of chatter. Been going on a lot. People are really doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I thought this was an opportune time for me to really start making some content where we go a little deeper, my witches. The thing I always try and tell my students is that they need to understand that to be able to bring something into your reality, you need to be willing to lose something else. Now this goes for your magic, this goes for your relationships, this goes in all different areas. The fact of the matter is, if you're not willing to give up something to have something else, you're not going to get that. And that's the truth. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they're treating you like crap and you're there because of the financial, you may have to give up the financial to be able to get what you want. If you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody and they ain't treating you well and you're too afraid, you don't want to give up possibly losing them, then you need to understand that you're not allowing the vibration to come into your reality that is conducive to you being what you want to be, being where you want to be in your life. And this is such an important and powerful message for people to really assimilate into their being. Right? This does not mean that you need to hurt somebody. This does not mean that you need to cause conflict in your life or their life. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and people saying things like, you know, people are really willing to do and endure anything just to have somebody tell them that they love them. And you need to ask yourself this: are you willing to be treated like crap just to have somebody in your life? Now again, if you're going up and you're trying to hurt somebody or whatever it is, that's something different. That's beneath you. That vibration is not even, that's not right. You don't do that kind of stuff, okay? Because then you're going into a whole judgment thing and whatnot. And you don't want to do that, right? No, but there's only one true judge in this world, and that's God, okay? In this universe, and that's God. So it is not your place to judge another person, right? It is about, we did a video on discernment, right? It's about discerning whether or not what you are in that situation is going to be conducive to you being where you want to be. And I see this so many times in relationships. And I had somebody once say to me, Odin, I noticed that a lot of the botanicals that you use can be associated with love. And I do. Because with my training and my line of magic, love has always been the driving force. It is the greatest power in this universe. Now, don't get me wrong, hate is also a real great power too. But I choose to be a being of love and use that vibration. This does not mean that I'm not going to stand my ground. That does not mean that I'm not going to say what needs to be said. That does not mean I'm not going to call somebody out. But I ain't going to go out there to hurt you. That's not what I do. Right? That will never be me. Right? Because that vibration is beneath me. If love is the most powerful force in the world, right, and that's the one you choose to connect yourself with and utilize in your magical workings, you are going to come out of that experience a stronger, wiser, more connected to a force that is evolutionary. It's not stagnant. And that's what I choose to be. Right? Now, the thing about it is, to be able to be this, I had to be willing to give up so many things that were not conducive to me being where I want to be. Now, I'm not talking from a physical level, y'all. Okay? I'm not saying that if you are having a problem with your partner because they're this and they're that, right? Yeah, we've already did a video on you do you. Right? You do what you need to. You let them be and have whatever experience they need to have. What I'm saying is, when I had to give up on things, I had to give up on situations, not people, situations in my life that were not conducive. Now, sometimes when you give up these situations, what you need to realize is some people are going to be running by. They're going to go because of the fact that they don't necessarily want to be in that experience with you. right? They don't necessarily, their ideas of what is, you know, where things should be is going to be very different than what yours are going to be. And I've said this a million times, and I'm sure I'll say it a million more times in my life. If someone can't be there for you when you're at your worst, don't let them be there with you at your best. You need to be willing to lose them. You need to be willing to lose everything to have the life you want to have. If you approach your magic with a desperation, not willing to reach that tipping point, because being willing to lose is a tipping point. And if you are not willing to reach that tipping point, if you're not willing to challenge yourself and go there, darling, you need to ask yourself, what energy are you placing into your magic? And that is a very important thing for people to really start looking at and understanding when doing any kind of magical workings. Now, I hope this video isn't too vague for everybody, because I didn't want to make a vague video, but this is a very big subject. And if you are going to be doing magical workings, right, or if you're in your life and things aren't going the way that you want them to go, and you know there's certain fundamental areas that you need to stand strong in without judgment, an example of this would be if you're in a relationship with somebody and this person is treating you like crap, and you want them to treat you better, and they're not doing it, you've asked them a million times, and they're not willing to do that, give you that common courtesy, give you that decency and that respect, you need to be willing to lose them. Now, I'm talking about specific things here, okay? If you're not happy because of physical attributes, e.g. their bodies, you know, their education, their whatever it is, okay? If these are the issues that you're having with the person, that's a different story, darling, okay? That's something completely different. If you're in a relationship with somebody and this person is belittling you or breaking you down or doing things like this and not respecting you as a person, and this is really what it comes down to, okay? It comes down to them not respecting you and honoring you as a person. You need to be willing to actually lose them. We need to understand that that process, okay, of being willing to lose them, willing to lose in general, holds within it the ability for transformation to really start occurring in your life. And this goes with relationships, this goes with jobs, this goes with magic. Right? You need to be willing to suffer. We heard that before. You need to be willing to suffer for what you believe in. Now, people mistake this a lot of the time, and they think that that means you need to sit in that and you need to, you know, endure something, and that's not what it means, darling. If you're just suffering rather than using that force to evoke transformation, then you're using that energy wrong. When I'm doing magical workings, one of the things that I always do, right, and I have found it to be very beneficial in my magic, is I am willing to put myself on the line and lose to be able to do it, to be able to have that magic happen. When you hear of Marie Laveau and she was placing red hot peppers on her mouth, in her mouth to, you know, and suffering, right? She was willing to lose that comfort and place herself in an area to have her magic manifest. That is willpower, my witches. This is what takes you from a few herbs in a cauldron, a couple of candles, and a very well-written incantation to making manifest. There's a wonderful story that I can't remember what it was, about a rainmaker, and the rainmaker called the rain and the rain wasn't coming. And he said, I am going to stand in this spot until the rain comes. And he had resolved himself to the fact that he wasn't going anywhere, and it started to rain immediately. Because again, he was willing to suffer to have the desired outcome manifest. And that's powerful, my witches. That is very, very powerful. When you think of Moses, when he went and hit the rock, and the water didn't come out of the rock, and he hit the rock again, and then God told him, you didn't have faith. Right? He was not willing to look a certain way in front of his followers. He was second guessing. Right? He allowed other variables to shake his faith and his foundation. You need to be willing to look like a fool. You need to be willing to put yourself out there. You need to be willing to stand your ground. You need to be willing to suffer for your magic and to be where you want to be. And if you give this a try, my witches, if you give this a try in your magic, you will be so shocked at the results that you will get from these actions. If you want something, remember, the vibration you put out is a vibration that you're going to get back. And if you're willing to put out that vibration, I'm willing to lose everything. You hear, I think it was Anthony Robbins, most people are afraid to burn their boats. But the reality is, the people who do burn their boats, most likely, more times than not, and a lot more times, like it's 99% of the time, people will succeed. Because they've burnt their boat. They're willing to put everything on the line for it. When you hear about people who become multimillionaires, they are willing to put everything on the line for what they want. If you are not willing to put everything on the line, okay, for what you want, don't expect the divine to do the same for you. Now again, this doesn't mean that you have to be stupid. This doesn't mean that you have to endure crap. It just means that the reality that you wish to have, be willing to do anything for it. Whether that be suffer, whether that be work hard, whether that be whatever, be willing to do it. And the funny thing about it is, once you bring that vibration of willingness into your reality, into your consciousness, most of the time you don't have to go through a lot to manifest the changes that you desire. Alright, my witches, my spiritualists, that is our episode for today. If you have not pressed subscribe, you know you need to press subscribe, join the Witch Please family, and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below. Don't forget to press that bell icon so you're notified when a new video comes out, because you know you don't want to miss a thing. I said it before, my witches, my spiritualists, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic. And you are always in my heart. Stay strong, my witches, during this. And I will see you on another episode of Witch Please. I love you, boo-boos. Bye-bye. Don't forget to press that bell icon when a new video comes. Don't forget to press that bell icon, because you know don't want to. Leo. I can't speak. Don't forget to press that bell icon so you're notified when